account of the voyage, of the many adventures of the new land and its richness, as well as religion and piety. Another man, John Hammond, was a Mormon in spite of himself. He lived in Virginia 19 years and then moved to Maryland. He returned to England, and there he wrote in glowing terms of the New World, a merry world. So we see that though some said Virginia was populated by people of wealth and aristocracy, we actually know from looking that these people were a mixture of fugitives, criminals, second sons, tramps of London streets, and we call it aristocracy, don't deceive. The earliest historian born in Virginia was Robert Beverly, himself of a distinguished Virginia family, but he filled his book with sarcasm at the influence and shiftlessness of his fellow countrymen, saying that though the country be overrun with wood, they order furniture from England. So, now, I have just hit some of the highlights. We don't have complete courses on just a 10-year period. I thought I would turn now to New England, and I mentioned some of the states that came in, after 1620. One of the people that, first of all, the people who generally recognized as the whites in New England were generally clergy. They were generally Puritans, New England Puritan ministers. And I've got a list of them here. John Cotton, who died in 1652. John Davenport, who died in 1670. Richard Matham, John Norton, one named Hooker. And as I was researching, I found Thomas Shepard, spelled Shepard, who died at very young, at age 44, in 1649. William Bradford is the one that we all remember as the father of American history. He came to our country, as I said earlier, in 1620. He died in 1649, and he kept the record. It was like a journal. Now, one commentary I read said it was not a true journal, but his publication, I dare say, anyone who came through high school read something from our Plymouth plantation. And he was governor of the Plymouth colony for over 30 years. And one of the things that surprised me is he dabbed in poetry. I would have thought that Bradford would have done that. I mentioned John Cotton. John Cotton in 1646 wrote a children's version of the Catechism, a shorter children's version. He named it Milk for Babes, B-A-B-E-S. And this short catechism is considered the first children's book by an American and was incorporated into the New England Primer around 1701. That's 1 year after our cutoff. But the interesting thing about that is it remained in the New England Primer for 150 years. So the John Cotton, that I said died in 1652, wrote the first children's book. Now, I want to turn to someone, I mentioned her name earlier, the only woman listed on the threshold of American letters was the first colonial to write out of a desire to be a poet. And I told her name earlier, Anne Bradstreet. She was born in 1612. That's 4 years before Queen Elizabeth I and Shakespeare died. And she was born in Northampton, England. She arrived in the States in 1630. Her first books were published. One was published called A Fit of Sickness in 1631, so that's the very year after she came to the States. And next she wrote 3 elegies in 1638, 1631, and 1642. But those are not the things she was remembered for. She was a woman ahead of her time. She was especially fond of poetry, which she began to write for herself, Her works were kept private, though, as it was frowned upon for women to pursue intellectual enlightenment, let alone create and air their views and opinions. She wrote for herself, for her family, and to air their views and opinions. She had a very close circle of educated friends, and she did not intend those poems that she wrote to be published. But her brother-in-law, John Woodbridge, did not allow the poetess to remain unnoticed. He secretly copied her work. Have you all heard this story? Our always feel like you may know this. He copied her work secretly, took it to London, and had it published. Most people call this publication The 10th Muse, but the full title, and it's a book of poetry, The 10th Muse, lately sprung up in America by a gentlewoman of those parts, and that was published in 1650. The book did fairly well in England, but was to be the last of the poetry to be published in her lifetime. All of her other poems were published posthumously. I thought it was interesting when her neighbors found, because she did this for herself and very close friends, when her neighbors found that she was daring to write poetry, and they found fault with her, this is what she replied: I am obnoxious to each carping tongue who says my hand a needle better fits. A poet pen, all scorn I shall thus wrong, for such despite they cast on female wits. So as I talk about her, you might say she was considered an early feminist. Her poetry was mainly based on her life experience, her love for her husband and her family, and one of the most interesting aspects was that she had an atmosphere where she believed in the search for knowledge was frowned upon as being God's will, where women were relegated to traditional roles. No, she just was really ahead of her time. We cannot help but feel the love she had for both God and her husband, and her intense devotion to both and to her family, despite the fact that she clearly valued knowledge and learning, and was a free thinker, an early feminist, without a doubt. So in summary, and obviously I've not touched on everyone, I wanted to just kind of bring some thoughts together. You can tell from what I've said that all of these writers were really, you might say, were writing travel logs, that they were writing about what was happening, what they found here, not only descriptions, but what they experienced here. Colonial America, I'm talking about what they called the first period, 1607 to 1700, did produce an impressive body of literature, much of it in the form of non-fiction prose, like Captain John Smith, writing about what he saw in Virginia. That's prose and it's non-fiction, such as also autobiographies and sermons. Some central themes emerge. Because of their nature of endeavor, Captain John Smith and other chroniclers of the settlement of the 17th century often address the subjects of will and work, the relationship between humans and nature, the differences between European and Native American cultures. In the same centuries, in this same century, 17th century, John Winthrop, who was you might say, the founder of the Massachusetts Bay Colony, wrote a model of Christian unity in 1630. That's the year he came. And we've already noted the personal poems of Bradstreet, and Winthrop is famous not only for that work, but a famous public sermon and the Enemy Journal, and I will try to read those. So the main features of this 93-year period, 1607 to 1700, diaries, histories, journals, letters, commonplace books, travel books, sermons, in short, personal literature of the various forms, occupy this major portion of the early history of the colonial period. That is the first period. So these early writings either served God or colonial expansion or both. Yet there was form to them, the English literary traditions were faithfully imitated and transplanted. And we know that Puritanism, which we think of as coming from the New England colonies, that was formed in this period, was one of the most enduring, shaping influences in American thought and American literature. So I don't know that you want to go to the lobby after this talk today and seek out Captain John Smith or John Winthrop or the poems of Anne Bradstreet or even William Bradford's Plymouth Plantation. I imagine most of you were exposed to some of those along the way. So we dames of the 17th century have had an exposure to writers of the 17th century.
Thank you very